Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Roll call in advance, you don't even gotta mention. Swap it in the deck, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the size, you ain't trenching enough. Whoa, we do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Whoa, Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah, Nicky's. Yeah, OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, changing. Yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the stack. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live from the OnChain Hour. And guys, Bitcoin's sitting at 107,623 at this exact second. Guys, I'm so excited for this week. I think this week is going to be insane for Bitcoin. I think we're about to hit 112. I know I say that a lot, but this week we got CPI on Wednesday. We got PPI on Thursday. And I think the lead up to that is going to be very big. We do know Donald Trump has been in Jerome's ear. Will he listen? I think so. I really do. But I feel like, in the Bitcoin ecosystem, with assets like Dog and assets like Billy and Pups and stuff, I do think we're about to see an explosion. I think we see an explosion so big the whole world wakes up to the Bitcoin ecosystem. That's just my opinion, but I think it happens this week. I really do. I think the start of it happens this week. I'm excited, guys, for everything we have going on. We are so lucky to be here right now because no one else is paying attention. This is the time that we all learn how to get rich, right? You learn how to get rich by hodling, right? We've seen it with the Bitcoiners from 2011, 2012, 13. What they did was they hodled and they eventually got insanely rich. And I think that exact same thing happens with your runes, your alkanes, your BRC20s, your ordinals, and so much more, guys. Without further ado, I'm bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing, bro? How's everything?
Everything is grand. Everything is great. Look, we are looking good on the Bitcoin price action chart, right under 108. So, I said don't panic, and I was right about that because I felt like there was just a normal pullback last week. And look, this doesn't mean we get to 115 tomorrow or even Wednesday, but we're kind of swinging back into where we were previously. Let's see if we can keep this momentum going. I think we all know where we're heading, at least by mid-July, around that time frame, right? So I'm excited because there's a lot of things happening, right? You had the whole awesome Alkanes kind of Harry Potter thing mint last night with the guys from Laser Eyes. There was I think somebody else was involved as well, possibly, but it was fun. People are talking about that. Plus, runes are just dog is nonstop. That army is crazy, formidable. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get into what you talked about in the intro, and that's you know, getting back to this hodl culture, which I'm starting to see even in a broader crypto like ecosystem, right? Solana with the believes part, they're getting more back to utility, more like back to holding. It's not going to be like our holding, but you know, but the people that did hold on to runes and stuff, and the assets over here, I think our time is up, and it's definitely due.
Yeah, 100%. And the meme coin playgrounds are fun, but they're not sustainable, right? Like it's something that maybe 5 out of the 10,000 tokens will succeed, but you know, you got to build communities first. And I think that's what's happening right now in the Bitcoin ecosystem is there's communities been built for a long time. We have a foundation of every single project and the community that's built there. And what that's going to do, it's going to allow more people, new people to come in and just feel like they're a part of something. That's what everyone wants. Everyone wants a sense of community. Everyone wants to be a part of something. And I think you do get that in the Bitcoin ecosystem. But you're right, though. Solana, we need them to kind of grow up a little bit. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but we need them to kind of get out of this pump and dump casino area, which is fine. If you want to play, go play. But we need them to grow. And the Believe app kind of is that. It's a sign of growth, in my opinion, especially over on Solana.
I agree with that 1000%. Let's see if it's sustained though, because you have a lot of people that are stuck in that mindset of you know, on to the next. And you're talking about daily runners, right?
Yeah.
That's starting to go away. I think pump funds starting to get a little bit less attention than it had before. And look, I think it's good for them because in Q4, like I said, I think the Bitcoin ecosystem is that sneaky big play of the cycle, and they will be wanting to hold our assets as well, which, you know, at the end of the day, like you're right, people want to be a part of something, but they also want to look around and say, hey, we're all winning, you know, we're winning together. And obviously, you know, that goes in cycles, but we haven't really had that. It's always been kind of this little cabal's winning or this corner of crypto's winning. And I think that we're, as an industry, due for a nice rise up in Q4, and let's hope that happens.
Q4 is a long time. Like I'm hoping.
Well, we can start it. We can start it now. The grand finale.
No. I hear you. But I hope it's not the grand finale. Like I love what you're saying, but I'm hoping you're wrong. I'm hoping we get it in Q2, Q3, and then we last all the way to Q1, Q2 of next year. I know I'm in dreamland when I'm saying this, but at the same time, I don't see it as not possible.
Anything's possible with this space, right? So let's see. The one thing I think we both agree on with what we both said separately is that there's going to be time of bullishness, you know, strong bullish activity, whether it's a rise up to Q4 or, you know, we start now going all the way to Q1 next year, Q2 next year. And I think that's a good thing because we probably like started this year, we thought it was coming like now, you know, it was coming at the end of January, or we're going to have that alt season in early spring. But now with the M2 money supply, the catalyst of, you know, possibly the Fed easing up here, and just what the objective of this current administration is to have, in my opinion, is a market kind of blow off the top at some point in the next 6 to 8 months. So.
Yeah, 100%. Let's kind of get into today's main topic, Crypto Monday Madness. Dog takes flight and market shenanigans unleashed. So we kind of got into the Alkanes, and we're going to save that for a little bit because we're going to have one of the creators of that Alkamist coin come on later. Maybe 2, maybe 3. We'll find out in a little bit, but we're going to save that stuff for the end of the show. So if you're interested in learning about what is happening over on what is it, Alkanes? Yeah. You guys just tune in for later. But first, we're going to kind of dig into what is happening in the Bitcoin Runes ecosystem. So we are seeing the only one really kind of move here is Dog. Dog's up today about 2% on the day. You are seeing RuneCoin a little bit, Gizmo a little bit. But when can we start seeing explosion? When can we start seeing an upward momentum coming from the Runes ecosystem?
I truly think that moment will happen when Bitcoin hits that 120 to 130 mark and then starts to pull back a little bit, right? So it's kind of like we're going to see that resistance hit at like probably 130, maybe a little higher than that, and then start to see it kind of say, okay, that's it over here for this little leg up, or this leg up to between 120 and 130. So that could be something towards the end of this month or the first half of next month, right? And I think at that point, a lot of analysts, people that are tracking the money supply and kind of give a good, decent, strong forecast are saying we'll probably see a pullback that goes back to 110. I think a lot of those profits will flow into our ecosystem and we'll start to see some aggressive push up, maybe that first leg of runes, because this is not really there hasn't been that first leg. Dog got to 500 million, but I don't consider the first leg until it actually passes its all-time high. That's the first leg for me. And so that could happen in the last part of this month or the first part of next month. And so that's what I'm thinking. I'm curious what your perspective is with it.
Yeah, the one thing I think you're missing though is the big catalyst that potentially could be this week, right? And I'm talking about Kraken. I'm talking about Slingshot. I'm talking about what's going on with Near Protocol and RuneShot. I think that we could see a huge momentum swing into the runes coming during this momentum. And I'm still, I don't know who's going to list first. Will it be Slingshot in that environment there, or will it be, potentially Kraken first? I mean, these are two monster catalysts, right?
So Kraken is a monster catalyst. Slingshot can be. I think there's people that are disappointed the fact that Slingshot hasn't done it yet, but there's probably a little camp that's disappointed that Kraken hasn't done it yet. But here's the thing is I feel like they're definitely waiting for something, right? There's something that's weird. We know Kraken's coming, right? But people still want it now and they want it yesterday, but Kraken's like, hey, don't worry, you guys, it's coming. Are they waiting on Bitcoin to first run up to 130? Are they waiting on certain kind of market triggers? I'm not sure. I do know that they have like groups of tokens that go onto the listing, so maybe that's probably one of the reasons why it hasn't been listed yet, is it hasn't hit the listing date. But they're probably not going to make that public either, right? So one thing I'm curious about too, and I don't think we'll see a sell the event, was it buy the rumor, sell the news? I think if it was a normal way of trading tokens, we would see that, because like with liquidity pools where fast actions happening, you know what I mean, a lot of shorting or longing and stuff like that in terms of leverage. But the runes don't really have too much of infrastructure for that. But yeah, you can long and short dog in very few select areas. I just actually feel like this might be a good, like, by the rumor and the news event. We'll see. Gonna knock on some wood here, but if that's the case, then we'll see maybe that first leg start up, right? So I'm more bullish on the Kraken side. The Slingshot side could be big depending on how they roll it out and how it's integrated into Magic Eden. They're taking their sweet time with it, and I don't really like that. What do you think? Do you think which one's bigger for you?
For me, I do think it's the Slingshot one. I know it, like, only because of the fact that you can go and no KYC, right? I don't think so, right? You sign up and you can just buy with your credit card. You can buy right there. I think that's kind of bigger, and I could be wrong because I never really used Slingshot but from my understanding, you basically just download the app and go, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't think I KYC'd on that. So I think it is more of, and they do on-chain stuff. So they have contract addresses. I know with their Solana tokens, and that's kind of this new meta of category of exchanges with the apps. Is they're like trying to do Robinhood, except for there's actual contracts that are done on chain. You don't deal with that. They do kind of in the background. What Binance is kind of pulling with their situation with their alpha token program, right? So but let's not forget that Kraken has a new product called Crack that's coming out. So that so we'll see if people get addicted to that, start using that more, and that might be a similar competing product. So we'll see.
Yeah. Dude, if Crack is big, I'm creating an exchange called Kensington. Like, I mean,
oh my god,
no, just kidding. How funny would that be? But yeah, and then I just think the runes, right? Obviously, right now you can buy a dog on Slingshot now, right? But it's a Solana version. But I just think the runes version is going to be so much better, and I think Magic Eden needs this to succeed. I think Magic Eden is dependent on this, and they have a lot of resources. You saw they just kind of did a partnership with the Trump meme coin. So I do feel like they are grasping for straws right now, and I think the marketing push for runes on Slingshot could be pretty massive, but I think they're both amazing catalysts. I mean, I really hate putting them up against each other because I think that if they roll out together, I mean, you get the best of both worlds. You get the you know, the on-chain stuff with Slingshot and the exchange stuff with Kraken. But my thing is, though, if Kraken does really well, if the fees are insane, I mean, you're gonna see the big boys start looking over here and saying, "What's going on?" I'm talking about Coinbase, Binance, Gemini, Bybit, and so on and so on. The big boys who haven't listed dog yet, they're paying attention, and I think they're gonna learn that they're missing out.
Is the Kraken listing a bullish event for other runes, though? I'm thinking it is, right? It might be a little bit more bullish for other runes because now other communities are going to get excited and say, okay, can we be next? Can we be next? And we'll see how Dog performs. I think Dog can perform very well. But this energy that the Dog army, if you guys are listening, you got to double, triple, quadruple down. I know I've said this last week, but keep this up because you're starting to see people like, I think his name is Hennick. He's pretty big. He has like 300,000 maybe or 200,000 followers. You get these big influencers on, and we're on, you know, Dog's on Kraken. At that point, the problem before with Rune's launch was, I mean, it was the worst experience to try to mint these things and get in and all that stuff. If that event had happened for this Kraken event, I think, dude, like Dog would just explode to like 1.5 billion, something like that. Because you have to remember, there was a lot of influencers on board back then. It was just the experience wasn't good. Kraken solves that, right? Because now you can just go to your Kraken app and just start buying Dog or Slingshot once it adds it. So we'll see. Let's see how this all plays out. But the rollout's exciting. It's already exciting right now, and it hasn't even happened.
Yeah, 100%. And I've stepped up my shell game 100%, right? Because I think the time is now. I've waited to a point where I think the market's about to explode. And I think if you're not cash tagging dogs, you know, three times a day, I don't think
I put an S on it because I was like, I love underdogs, and I put a cash tag. I was like, oh crap, oh well.
There's a token called Dogs on Tron. No, ton. So you gotta be careful with that. And when you're doing $1 billion cat, I know, you know, they want it to be Billy, but do BDC because that shows up on Cookie.fun, right? So or do both, do Billy and BDC because it is the same, right? So we definitely need to be cash tagging our runes. We need to be doing it constantly, 3 times a day, guys. If we want to succeed, we gotta fight for our bags here. And I say that because the community is so strong, and I'm fighting for the community, right? Cash tag Dog as much as you possibly can do it without hating yourself. But yeah. But that is the fun part. But to your point from earlier, what you said was, you know, we need Bitcoin to go up first, right? So our boy Colin, and I just checked it, he updated his chart. Yeah, he got a new thing here. So this is where we are, bro. How do you feel about where we're at? It's just
I mean, I mean,
he's back to the 71 day, dude. He's back to the 71.
So how do you feel about that? Like, I mean, the bro keeps adjusting a little bit here, there. I mean, like, what do you think?
I don't know. I do like the adjustment because I feel like
it looks better.
But he's only adjusting it by like 30 days max, right?
I thought it was 10. I think it's 10. He's because it was 81.
Yeah, you're right.
81 to 71. So if it was 30 days, I'd be like
78. It was 78 originally. Raul Paul came out and basically said his is 100. And then, you know, he went to 82 and now he's back to 71.
Gotcha. Okay, so I don't know, man. I don't like that though. I don't like that. But one thing I do know is this: that
look at this back here. Look at this back here. It looks so good. And that's the difference, right? He lines up this or he lines up that, right? He does one or the other.
Well, and then even if you went to like the 81 days, it's not gonna be off by that much, right? It's still very close.
This will just be like right here.
Yeah, so it's not like it's like way off, so it's completely invalidated. So I mean, look, this is the thing. I'm going to continually use the M2 global money supply until it breaks, and it hasn't broken. And actually, when it does break, I'm probably gonna start to plan a conservative swing short. You know, just because like. It's okay if it comes from 130 to 110 because that was expected, you know, and however long that lasts before we start to rise back up. So M2 global money supply could be a good conservative, and I never like say, hey, you guys should take leverage because that's not me. But like for me, I'm talking to myself, a conservative swing play, because it's been right. It's been right. I mean, what can I say?
Yeah. No, 100% it has. So what breaks it to you is, let's just say it's going sideways until July. Is this broken?
Sideways and down.
Sideways and down's broken.
Yeah,
So just
yeah.
so sideways and up, let's just say we go like this. We follow like this line right here. If we're like, is that broken?
So like here's the problem that anybody can kind of make a point,
Yeah.
right, or make their argument is, so let's say that it does break down a little bit and it starts to do an inverse of what we see the money supply. They'll say, well, you know, you can see in the past it inverse, exactly inversed right there if you're talking back in March, right? And so, but I think for me, you know, for it to be invalidated, it would have to go sideways and then kind of like just straight down, right? So we're talking about like going to maybe like, I don't know, like ranging between here and 101, and then all of a sudden just shooting down to like 92, and then it gets to like 80, like 77 to 80,000. At that point, you can't say that like I don't care if you're like, oh, it's just inversing. No, it's gone way too far out from what an inverse would look like, right? Now, I don't expect that, but that would be a complete breakdown to me. And I would say, okay, you know, M2 supply can't really trust this anymore. But I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with everything you said. 100%. Yeah, I don't see it happening either. But if it does, for me, you're right. I think if we drop to 92, I think this is invalidated. I don't think there's no coming back from that, right? Unless we have a giant push up. So I think if we stay above 100 from now until July, I think we are good. But we need to have that pump in July. We need a pump in July for this to stay validated as well. So
I agree.
But I think it's coming. I truly believe that it is coming, guys. But let's get into today's topics of some off-chain news here. So MicroStrategy now holds 580,955 BTC following their purchase of an additional 1,045 Bitcoin and an average price of 105,426. So that was the average price of the new 1,000. But the average cost across the entire position is about $66,000, 385 per Bitcoin, with a total cost roughly at 33.14. But if he sold all of his Bitcoin today, he would actually get $67 billion. He basically has doubled his position value-wise. He's paid half the price for that amount of Bitcoin because he started buying in 2020 of August.
Yeah, and his board is probably, that's his kind of argument, right? If they complain about him trying to come back for more capital.
Stay.
Is it bumped up? I remember like last time we checked, it was like 40 something. It's bumped up to 80% now.
Well, so he has majority vote, I think, right? Or something like that. Or
right below is the last time we checked.
Okay.
It was right, but enough to where you just got to convince a couple people. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So this is it right here. I mean, but if you're talking to the guy who's made you, you know, $30 billion in 4 years, I mean, you're gonna say yes, that
he's made the stock go up in value. He's made the stock go up in value a lot. So
yeah, and you know what's funny? In August, he basically told all the shareholders, "Hey, I'll buy all your stock back at this price," and it was higher than the actual market price. And he did. He bought up a lot of people who wanted out. Some of them were bigger players too. Some of them were, I think it was what was that back, the hedge fund? I forget what it was, but there was a couple of hedge funds who got out, who took Sailor's money, and they missed out on 10x gains, 20x gains. So it just shows you that Sailor's been right from the absolute beginning, man. It's been pretty big. But look at this, dude. Look at all this green. I mean, we've never seen this much stack besides the top. Is this a top? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the last time where it was like kind of like just heavy buys. We've not topped, right?
No, we have not topped, but it is clumping. It is kind of clumping up there. Yeah, I mean, but you have to remember, like, this is probably the most capital he's had access to as well, right? And so they keep feeding him more. Well, he keeps asking for it, but like this is, I think it's a little disingenuous to compare where we are now to, let's say, like in what is that, 2022, whenever he first started that first top of 2021 or whatever, right? Because now he's dealing with so much more capital that he has access to. So I mean, look, it is saying he's double, tripling down on his you know, conviction here. but I think he's doing it at the right time. He's doing it at the right time. Now, do I think Saylor's going to dump eventually? Yeah, I mean, you know, some of it, not all of it, but
not when you're getting 16% yield.
I don't
Like,
know.
why would
I don't
you?
know.
Why would you?
Because the merry-go-round has to stop so other people can get on. And I'm just saying, like, if it doesn't stop, like, what happens? It makes people more like
$1 million Bitcoin.
I mean, I'm a little bit nervous, you know, but I'm a little bit nervous if he's responsible in the future. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's the conservative part of me talking.
Yeah, I think that he's gotten in so early. I mean, think about it. Bitcoin dropped in half today. He's still in the money, right?
Yeah.
So if Bitcoin drops to 50K, Saylor's still potentially fine. He could sell the other half of the Bitcoin and close out all the loans. He's at net zero.
He wouldn't do it.
Oh. He wouldn't do it. He would figure out a way to get other money. But someone like Saylor, think about this, and people don't really think about this. How much money can Saylor
raise,
accumulate? You think raise or whatever if he gets in a desperate situation? I think the number is in the billions. Like, I think it's enough to pull him out from because he has they have buildings, they have their business, they can leverage a lot of stuff other than Bitcoin to get money to help their situation, other than selling the Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think
you could sell MicroStrategy technically, like a portion of it, like a group of money that it makes, right? So before we had to sell the Bitcoin.
Yeah, but I wonder who else he got involved with this too. It probably would be smart strategically if he got some big players involved to where if he fails, then they fail.
BlackRock, right? BlackRock has unlimited money.
Yeah, but
so
are they part of his? I don't think they're part of his thing.
Yeah.
They're doing their own thing. They're like, we don't need you.
No. Well, yeah, they do because of Bitcoin. They're buying all the client Bitcoin. They can't let when you're buying like the Rothschilds Bitcoin, you can't let it fail. Like, you know what I mean? When you're buying the people who pull the strings, when you're buying their Bitcoin, you can't let it fail. You can't. You'll come in and say, here, Michael, here's 50 billion. Get yourself out of this mess and pay this back with your yield. So
yeah.
But we'll see. But it's fun to talk about, and I'm curious to this because this is kind of off topic a little bit. But this weekend I had like this weird thing. So I took a deep dive into Terra Luna, right, and kind of got the comparison of Hyperliquid. And I know this is really off topic here, but what do you think about this? So Terra Luna, for instance, was a thorn in the side of centralization, right? It was a decentralized stablecoin backed by an algorithm, no real cash behind it. It was backed by Terra Luna. It went up to $100. It was the number one coin last cycle. If you held Luna and you from the bottom to the top, you made like 1,000x, 2,000x. It was something absurd, right? So the big boys got scared. And they used SBF and his goons, in my opinion, to deleverage it and destroy Terra Luna, right? And I feel like Hyperliquid has done the exact same thing, but not to stablecoin centralization, but to exchange centralization. Right now, you're seeing some of the biggest players, James Wynn, for instance, use Hyperliquid. You're seeing a lot of volume, more volume than any other chain. I mean, Hyperliquid is the most profitable chain out there. And you got people like Binance, you got people like Bybit, you have some of the biggest centralization in the world, Coinbase, right? They're all looking at this and they're saying that's the problem. The same thing that the stablecoin issuers like Tether and the US, right? The potential new stablecoin issuers, they all saw and they said that's the problem, right? Do you see them attacking Hyperliquid in the same way that they attacked Terra Luna?
So first of all, there was already pretty much a strategic I don't want to say full-blown attack, but like it was an attempt to break down them, because they've been shown to be very formidable in terms of this on-chain perps and leverage stacks that's just really grown. The biggest difference between Terra Luna and Hyperliquid, in my opinion, is arrogance. I mean, Do Kwon was one of the most arrogant people in our space, constantly boasting, challenging people to break down his algorithmic stable token, right?
This is true.
And so that put, I think, extra like heat on it, like making people like, look at this arrogant guy. Like it's probably not that hard to break down an algorithmic stable token, because the whole point of it was that this works. You don't need collateralized stable coins. And the number two is Hyperliquid already got tested, and look, they had to do what they had to do, but they were able to, you know, they were able to kind of mitigate that situation. Whoever lost whatever in that short term was taken care of. And I think the centralized exchanges kind of took a step back and said, okay, they're a little bit stronger than we thought, maybe. And now I'm starting to see hype actually added to like the Binance Alpha, I believe, program now. So now I think, and then also Binance is taking that route. So it's more of the centralized exchanges saw them as a threat, said, well, let's test them. And then kind of threw, shot into their armor. Their armor didn't get fully pierced. They got dented. They were able to get through that. And then centralized exchanges were like, maybe this is something that works. And then they started creating their own versions of it. Now they don't, when I say own versions, I'm not talking about like a perps dex. What I'm talking about is on-chain and off-chain business models working together, actually. And it's starting to work pretty darn well for Binance. It actually, in my opinion, is a way better way of listing tokens if this is their new strategy than what it was before. And we're starting to see a little bit of Coinbase thinking this way. Kraken has a new product as well. So I actually am in the other side of the camp here, to where I see where your perspective started, but I don't think it goes that. I don't think it ends that way with them, at least. Somebody else maybe.
Yeah, no, I definitely get your point. They, like, everyone seemed to be coming on chain. They're coming after the Hyperliquid approach, right? But we do know that Binance is only really using Binance Smart Chain. And do you think Binance opens that up and kind of does Ethereum with Uniswap and so on down the line?
I think they do. I think all of the centralized exchanges do. And because it's smart. And so that's the Magic Eden approach, right? So Magic Eden's trying to do that, while Hyperliquid is saying, hey, look, we're going to have our own L1 eventually, but right now we're leveraging Arbitrum. I think it's Arbitrum. Yeah, Arbitrum, to be able to deposit USDC into our ecosystem. And then, so it's almost like if you were to put Hyperliquid and Magic Eden together, that's what I think these centralized exchanges are like, saying, okay, we're going to front run and do this combo, and we'll be the leaders of it.
Yeah, love it, man. Do you have a big whiteboard above there where you look up and you're gonna see what
like
change stuff?
Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's like, no, you gotta go. No, just kidding.
But absolutely awesome, man. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Let's jump into the Bitcoin fear and greed. Okay, so last week we were at a 57. Yesterday we were at 55. We are pretty much yesterday. I don't know how else to say it. 55. Great job on that, man. But yes, today we're at a 55. I feel a lot more bullish at 55. I feel 65. I feel almost 70. I don't know what's going on inside of me right now that I just feel overwhelmed with bullishness. I don't know why. I feel like it's super low.
Well, I think it's the M2 money supply, and we saw it play out in front of us, right? With the help of myself kind of guiding us through like some of this like price action stuff. I see he's back. Welcome back. See you in the chat there. But because we saw something that we were talking about a month and a half ago play out, and we know that there's still more left, right? There's about 2 legs left. And so I think that's what's probably keeping us subconsciously bullish. And so, let's see how this plays out. But 55 yesterday, I think that was probably a little like weak score to give, considering we were making a bounce back yesterday during, Sunday bounce back. And then today we're right at 108. The biggest thing is, that score comes out at 8 p.m. Eastern. So how does the second half of today play out, right? That's where it's going to be interesting. Do we kind of continue this swing back and forth with the pendulum going back and forth, or do we continue that bullish momentum to get back to 111, at least tag it, and we'll see how this week plays out?
Yeah, man. I think it's a perfect time to do Bitcoin price action because Bitcoin has hit 108 a few minutes ago. But let's dig right in to the Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Artura, these guys are building something truly special. They're a leverage trading platform. They're building on a Bitcoin L2. We don't really have these. There's not many of these right now that we're seeing. And Artura is going to give us not one chain, but 2. So the first chain they're potentially going to be on is Botonix. Botonix is considered the spider chain because there's arms and everything. This one's going to be really, really explosive in my opinion. And Artura could be that number 1 DApp there. But how could you help yourself, right? How you can help yourself by using Artura.finance, because you'll be earning not only the ARA token, the the Aura finance token, but you will also be earning incentivized stuff from Botonics. We're actually hearing in the background of what that might be, and it is exciting. I can't say much about what it is yet, but you guys are going to be very, very happy when you're using Artura Finance on Botonics. But they're not just looking to launch on Botonics, they're also looking to launch on Hemi. Hemi is backed by Binance. Well, what does that mean? It means Hemi doesn't have a token, and potentially if they do have a token, it could get listed on Binance. So I'm definitely excited for that. And how can you get the Hemi token? Well, again, by using Artura.finance when it launches on Hemi. So you not only, again, be earning the ARA token, but potentially earning the Hemi token as well. I'm excited for what they're building. I'm excited for airdrop farming, honestly. Shout out to Artura.finance for giving me that opportunity. But check them out, guys.
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be a big airdrop season kind of heading into the later part of this year, but that's exciting for sure. I'm excited to be able to, trade some of these Bitcoin fungible synthetically, so it's going to be exciting. All right, before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, help us out as usual. You guys are awesome for doing it. On the YouTube side, smash that like, sub to the channel, turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, share the space, guys. Let's get as many people in here as possible, onboard as many people to our industry. And then same thing with the abstract side. If you could share that abstract stream, we would greatly appreciate it. But let's jump into some Bitcoin price action here, starting with the hour chart here, guys. You can see this was interesting. Probably faked a couple of people out. Looked like maybe there was a little cup forming. They're like, oh, where's the handle gonna pop off? No, it just said no, we're gonna just go ahead and jump straight up here. But yeah, so honestly, I didn't expect kind of this thrust up like this. I thought maybe we would do a little chop with an uptrend, but the hour chart looks okay. It looks pretty good. The buy pressure looks pretty strong still. Yeah, we have smaller candles on the MACD, but they're still dark green. We look like it was getting exhausted, and it did reverse back to continuation of the bullish sentiment and momentum, I should say. But yeah, so the stochastics is showing, we've been up here since 5 a.m. so about like 5 hours here, and looks like it wanted to head back down. Let's see if this starts to curl down here on the MACD. Then we'll see it maybe want to come back down, but I don't know. I feel pretty good about where we are with the sentiment with Bitcoin's current place in terms of the price action. Let me bring this down. Oh, got to get rid of that. Let me go here. All right, let's see where we are on the local data in terms of support and resistance. All right. Yeah, so resistance right here. We're seeing some resistance build up here, but it's balancing back out right at that 108 level, which makes sense because we crossed it and got pulled back, crossed it and pulled back a couple times here. We'll see if we can push through that right above that, the actual 108 position. We do see more resistance there as well. So like the support gets back over 108. So if we can make it up there, then we definitely have more stronger support in that region. Let's see if we have support below. No, not really, right? So this could fall down. We're seeing a lot more resistance in these three price areas. Actually goes all the way down to right here, 107,400 is where the support comes back in. And this data is going back to, like I said, that 4 or 5 a.m. So I don't know, guys. We might probably swing back a little bit. You can see it's starting to weaken here. I wouldn't be shocked if we do, but I wouldn't be worried either. So maybe the swing goes back down to 106.5, 106, and then swings back and forth between 107.5, 106.5. I'm okay with that. Getting back kind of with that next level up, because the whole goal is to kind of get back to where our previous all-time high was, which was 111.5, I believe. So we'll see. So second half of today, I am thinking choppy with a little bit of downtrend because I do see this starting to exhaust a little bit. But hey, that could also change with any type of headline or any bullish news like that. If not, we might just have a choppy with a little bit of downtrend day, which I'm okay with. All right, the 4 hour is let's see what it's looking at. Oh, 4 hours telling me that it's still in this bullish momentum, right? So maybe if I am wrong on that 1 hour chart and we do kind of range without hitting that downtrend, we range just sideways for a while until it swings back up with positive momentum. Maybe we do continue this, right? Because this is actually showing me that it wants to stay a little bit bullish. Now, the 4 hour is going to give us a 2 to 3 day forecast, right? So let's say that we do finish the second half of today, with bullish activity, we get to 108.5, 109 possibly. But we could have bullishness until Wednesday. We'll see if this has a continuation from that. But like I said, that 1 hour chart doesn't give me like a ton of confidence that's going to happen. We'll see, because the 1 hour chart, if it does get a little bit of a downtrend, this will just kind of slowly weaken, and then maybe we bounce back up second half of tomorrow, or the first half of tomorrow, right? Overnight. So we just kind of have to see how that 1 hour chart plays out. But the 4 hour looks good. The 4 hour looks pretty good. You know, this MACD leading indicator line is showing up. Let's see what the support and resistance looks like here. Okay, so we're in this range right here. This data goes to last Thursday, right? So each candle is 4 hours. That's the reason why it goes back that far with just this many candles. But from going back from last Thursday, we are showing where we are right now, at least on the 4 hour chart, that there's more support here. But right below that, the resistance is a bit stronger. And then we got support here. So really, I think the 1 hour chart is going to give us more of a window of, more clarity from that, and then play into the 4 hour chart. So let's see how the second half of today plays out. The weekly chart looks pretty good. It looks like we are starting the week with a green candle, right? Let me get rid of some of this stuff here if I can. There you go. Okay, there we go. All right, so we ended last week with barely a green candle. It's like just barely a little line there, but this week we're starting pretty good. We'll see if we can continue this. You can see the MACD looks okay. It doesn't look horrible. It does look like it's getting a little exhausted here, but we could still, like I said, have that kind of that run up to 120 to 130, and then the pullback would happen maybe like in the second part of July, or depending on how fast we get there, right? I think it's so early for us to see how this week's going to play out, but it's a good start with a pretty strong candle at 107,800. We'll see how it plays out. I think the setup still looks pretty good. I mean, there is some exhaustion here, but I imagine we stay up here for at least a little bit, right? Because each candle is a week worth of data. So I'm not worried yet. I am expecting to have that leg up again and then a pullback. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, now let's go to the others chart. So this is everything besides Bitcoin and the top 10. The others chart is kind of just staying a little bit. We did have this run up as Bitcoin was getting bullish, coming from 80K to all the way to like 111, right? But then like the others chart has a delayed reaction a bit with Bitcoin. It's more like closely related to Ethereum, and Ethereum hasn't decided to take off yet. So once that happens, we'll see this kind of do its own thing outside of Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin does have a bullish week, and let's say it hits a new all-time high, we get to 115 or something like that, we'll see this trail it, right? Not as aggressive, but it will trail it, unless Ethereum gets aggressive. Then this will get aggressive with that, in my opinion. But the indicators here are just a little bit weak. They're just kind of like, hey, they're on standby right now, right? There's like, what's going to happen? Either Bitcoin needs to get hyper aggressive so we can kind of start to move up, or Ethereum needs to do its thing so we can move up, or Bitcoin dumps and we're going to dump hard. That's basically the three options it's waiting on right now. So I'm okay with where it is right now, because I think a lot of us are expecting Ethereum to kind of do its own thing. We've been expecting that for a while this year, 6 months, 6 months now. We'll see if it does actually do that, though. So I think we're okay on the others chart, though.
Yeah, real quick though, to your point, like there's been 15 days of inflows in the Ethereum ETF. Smart money's buying Ethereum right now. Smart money isn't going to jack up the price. They're not stupid. They make sure that their buys are small, and they wait for retail to dump, and then they buy more. So I don't know. I think they're getting ready to showcase their bags here, but we'll see.
Yeah, that would be amazing, right? And then looking at the crypto bubbles here, actually looked a little bit better than this at first. We're starting to see a little bit of pullback in the alt market. Let me go to the top 1 through 100 first, though. So that looks a little bit better than this, 100 through Fartcoin up 13.3%. We made it, mama. We made it. Yeah.
Let's kind of go why we think that. So we think that, well, I personally, I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, but I personally think that Fartcoin is a leading indicator for the next day. Whatever Fartcoin does today, Bitcoin's going to be up like 6% tomorrow. That's what.
Oh, wow. It leads even Bitcoin, you're saying.
It leads Bitcoin. Fartcoin is the leading indicator of where retail is, and retail is about to jack up some of these altcoins. We'll see, though.
Yep, we shall see for sure. But Fartcoin is up 13.3%. good things always happens whenever a fart coin is up, especially double digits. And then Hype is up 6.6%. You have SPX up 11.9%. So the meme coins are definitely seeing a bounce back here. Dog with Hat up 5%. Pepe up 1.8%. So a little weak there for Pepe. Taking a look at some of the utility here, Tau up 8.4%, ICP up 6.2%, Solana up 2.8%, Radium up 8.3%. Let's take a look at the 100 through 200 rankings here. You got Mog up 9%. Turbo. Remember Turbo? Turbo was from Arbitrum. It was the first smart contract that was written by AI. That was interesting. And then you got AI 16Z up 4.7%. Where is our guy? Dog go to the moon.
He's hiding, bro. He's hiding somewhere. Oh, right there. Far right. All right.
Oh, Dog is up 4.9% here, guys. So looking pretty good. You see Starknet up 1.6%. They're doing things with the Bitcoin ecosystem. Pangu up 2.1%. Layer Zero down 0.8%. Yeah, there's not too many that are down. Most are up. Kato's up 3.1%. But yeah, it's actually looking pretty decent. Let's see if this continues. Obviously, if Bitcoin pulls back aggressively, gets to like 105, we're going to see more red. But let's see what happens.
Yeah, man, definitely excited for tomorrow. Now, I think we're about to see a rip here. I think 108 isn't only going to hold for so long. We do know that around 11 o'clock, the big boys.
No pun intended.
Right,
so. We're going to see a rip. We're going to see a rip.
But the big boys are at lunch until 1. I think when they come back at 1, I think we see a huge push up between 1 and 4. I think we get to like 109, 111, potentially even 112 today. But we'll see. We'll see. If they let us, right? That's the thing. We're controlled by TradFi at this point. But let's jump into a few things here. So active loans on Base ecosystem have crossed $1 billion per token terminal. So this is a new tool. Obviously last cycle we've seen Celsius, we've seen Blockify, right? This cycle, Coinbase actually launched that same exact product, and it is doing one amazing. So $1 billion in loans. They are actually, this is another source of revenue for Coinbase. Absolutely amazing for them. But this is big for me because it tells me people are getting risky. And I think a lot of this money, actually, when you leverage your Bitcoin like this, you're actually could be buying alts, right? So think about that. Let's just say you have a whole Bitcoin. You lock that up. You take out, let's just say $50,000, and potentially you put 30% in the ETH, 30%, and then you 10% in this, 10% in that, all the way down the risk curve, right? That is leverage. That you really can't get liquidated on, because Bitcoin actually, when you take a loan on it, you don't have to pay it back until you you get up against it, right? Well, until Bitcoin drops or something like that. But that's the thing is, like, as long as you're not crazy with it and you take out less than 50%, then I think you're fine. I don't think you have anything to worry about, and it allows you to get risky and leverage and potentially 10, 20x some of those, pay off your Bitcoin loan. You're in the money.
Yeah. It seems to be a really popular product, right? And people, I think this is going to be such a big industry in the future. And when I say industry, I say Bitcoin itself too. Obviously, there's going to be other blue chips that are in this type of product, but I'm talking about from a mainstream standpoint as well. It'll start with institutions, because normies don't probably hold Bitcoin very much, or just like old money that got into Bitcoin. I know a friend of ours from our church, her father bought like 20 Bitcoin, I want to say in 2014. He's a doctor, right? So he's someone that like he's someone that like, right? You know what I mean? But like he can take a loan against his Bitcoin. People like that, and so I think that this is already showing like so much promise in this type of product, right? So guys, we're early in this industry that is going to go absolutely nuts, in my opinion, of lending and borrowing from an like mainstream institutional level, not just our crypto Twitter or like our space only. It's going to blow up, and so this is exciting to see that in the early days they crossed $1 billion already.
Yeah, and like I've like a normie friend from and he was smart enough when I was talking to him about Bitcoin in 2020, in August 2020. He was smart enough to pick up one for $8,000, right? He's been holding it all this time. He wanted to yell at me when I hit 16 because I told him not to sell at 69. But you know what I mean? So he wanted to yell at me for that, but he held through that. And he recently hit me up. He said, "Yo, I want to buy a short house. I need substantial amount of money for the down payment. It'll get my payments lower. Thinking about selling my Bitcoin." And I said, "How much do you need?" And he was like, like 30, 40,000. I was like, "Take a loan out." And he was like, "Well, I can't afford to take on more payments because I'm taking on the payment for sure." I was like, "You don't have to." I was like, when Bitcoin hits, potentially insane numbers, potentially take a loan out on the shore house, pay off that Bitcoin, and then you're good to go. So he took my advice and he went to Coinbase and took a loan out for it. And that was someone who, obviously trusts me, but I'm confident in saying that Coinbase ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, I think the interest payments are still due though every month, right? But it's really small.
No, it just adds.
To your balance,
the amount. Yeah. So that's
the
say
principal.
40 every week. It's 40,050 or 40,100. Whatever that is that you agreed upon.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yep. All right. So stablecoin market cap for the first time ever has reached 250 billion. I think this time next year,
so bullish.
We're going to be at 2.5 trillion. I think we're going to 10x this number.
Whoa.
Think about it. No, hold on. I mean, with the Genius Act passing,
yeah,
right?
That's
We got
true.
Strike getting in the game. We have USDC going public. We have Tether coming out and saying, says that there are no IPO plans, but he's calling $515 billion valuation a bit bearish. I mean, he's calling his company $500 billion bearish on that evaluation. I mean, stable coins, in my opinion, are going to be the leading indicator on what chain is number one, because the amount of stable coins that go on each chain is going to be significant. And I think if that's when Ethereum goes to 19,000, because you're going to see $1 trillion on Ethereum alone.
So I just went like that because when you hear 2.5 trillion, it's just such a big number, but It makes sense. It makes complete sense, especially with the institutions going to be coming in. Stable coins, there's going to be a weird competitiveness. Obviously, the larger ones, kind of, but I think the competition that's going to be really heated is going to be that next level ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where maybe some smaller banks and all these other ones decide whatever they're going to do, right? Because they want that business. And then you have more of the native ecosystem stuff, right? Because in Bitcoin we have stable coins right now, actually, which is amazing, guys.
I know.
Think about that. We have stable coins on Bitcoin layer 1. There's a Starknet or the USDC Rune. Now it needs to get more fortified, in my opinion, but that will happen with time, right? And so, but yeah, this is really bullish news, and it's so easy to not think about this because sometimes, especially the trenchers or the people that have been here, I'm talking to a lot of you guys. Pat yourself on the back because it's very easy to leave when things are not exciting. You're not making money. Your balance keeps going down in terms of versus fiat. You're looking at it, you're like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? But that in theory with all these bullish news events will change over time, right? And so this is just another extremely exciting headline, I think, that is going to be coming to our space in terms of the new number, because this is going to continually grow. I agree with you, and it's going to grow probably at a rapid rate once all of that regulation with stablecoins gets in, people feel comfortable, all these decisions are being made. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, 100%. Let's jump in the roll call here. So on this channel, if you don't know, first is first. We like to do this every single day and actually add the person's name who is first. And today it's my man Webdro. Congratulations to you, my friend. You are number 22 on the year. You are still in third place though, man. Lackey Lukey is in second, followed by Danny Boy in first. So I know you did say you tied him, but yeah, you're still one back, unless I'm wrong here. Let me make sure. So 21. No, Webdro, I am wrong, brother. You do have you have tied him because my last number was wrong. So let me get this right. So Webdro 21, Webdro 22. Yeah. So yeah, you're right, dude. You 100%. You are now officially tied with Lackey Looking for 2. Danny Boy is 24. So and I guys, make this list. Be that first comment on YouTube. I got to stress that it's only on YouTube because YouTube is where we were able to do this at. So be that first comment on YouTube and get on this board, because I'm telling you, if just being on this list of names is going to be absolutely huge for you guys, man. Definitely want to be a part of this. We're going to do something special for every single person who's made this list. Shout out to Mr. Sheedy, Nabab, Mats, I mean, going all the way back to Mike's World and Chief Axel, you guys we're going to do something special for you guys. We're not sure what it is yet, but we have plenty of time though. We have the rest of the year. So we're going to be plan something for you guys 100%. Make this list, guys. Get on this list. But Webdro, Danny, and Lackey Lukey, man, I'm curious to see who's going to win. I'm curious. I'm going to make you kind of bet here. Who's going to win this?
That's tough. Like I gotta.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to.
I mean, like I feel like Danny Boy is like one of those that's like when he's dedicated, he's dedicated.
Yeah.
Like he like 95% of the time he has been. The only time he's not is whenever
100%.
he's like his work schedule gets in the way. So I don't know, man. But Webdro was on a heater to start things off with. Lucky Lucky's the one that I'm kind of like, I don't know, but he's still, it's gonna be a good race.
Dude,
we'll see.
Three wins last week, Lucky Lukey. I'm not doubting that guy.
Yeah.
My money's actually on Danny and Webdro. Prove me wrong, man. But I'm gonna say Lucky Lukey wins the game. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But shout out to you guys, man. Let's jump to the rest of the roll call because there's a lot of you guys here today. We have 471 people in here today, guys. If you don't mind, please smash that like button. I know we got to stress it a little bit because we're not getting as many likes as we really, really need. Apparently, we do need them. This is just me trying to figuring out how the algorithm works. If you guys could really help us out by sharing this as well on X and stuff like that, it would really help us. Really appreciate you guys, man, 100%. But Webdro says must keep the chat active all day to keep the Reaper away. Shout out to you, man. He says weird that they didn't fix this. Yeah, so there is a thing called a Reaper, and the Reaper comes in once in a while and he deletes the YouTube chat. It is not me. It sounds like it's me, but it's not. I'm not cruel in that way. So
I don't think we have that
YouTube,
access, do we? Yeah.
You can delete messages, but it's not like how they do it though. They completely wipe it all.
Yeah.
Zero.
That's true.
So, Seek Internal is here. He said dog and FLD positions loaded. Yes, that are two big winners. Two things I hold in my personal portfolio as well. Merlin Lucky is here. Shout out to Merlin Lucky. So today we're not gonna have the great Jeff on. It just reminded me. We're not having Merlin Monday today. Jeff is actually sick. I don't know if you want to say that C word here on YouTube, but he's actually sick today. So we wish Jeff a healthy recovery, and hopefully we get him on later this week if he's available. So we'll definitely try to get that for you guys, whether it's live or pre-record. We'll definitely get some type of something for the Maryland team. WeWeb is here. Shout out to WeWeb. ASAP Benji is here. Webdro kept the chat active and stole my point. Sorry. Oh, Benji had it. Oh, sorry, Benji. Webdro says Mondays are the hardest too. Why Hal Loop is here. He says Shizzy meant because of Kraken listing easy for noobs to buy dogs, so we don't have to explain Bitcoin UX. Yeah, that is true. That is 100% true, man.
Yeah.
Lackey Lukey is here. Shout out to Lackey Lukey. Webdro Power is here. Mempool Punk is here. Drex, my guy. What's up, buddy? It's been so long, man. Thank you. And that actually it hasn't. You were here last week, if I remember.
I think he came back.
Came back.
Like
yeah, for sure.
A week ago.
Hillbilly is here. Shout out to Hillbilly out in the wild of PA. Shout out to you, my friend. Mats is here. Shout out to Mats. KDN is here. Tim Baker, AOD Art himself, our guy. Appreciate you, my friend. You are absolutely awesome. Malam Yuri is here. Shout out to Malam. He's like, what's up? Shout out to you, my friend. Here it is. You ready for it? You ready for the next one?
What's up?
We got my man Cash Cats here. We like to call him the coach. He brings the coffee and the donuts and the dog. Go to the moon. Shout out to Cash Cats, man. That's our guy. We were doing that last summer, guys. So if you don't think we're bullish on dog here, we were saying that last summer every time the coach would bring us this coffee and the donuts. Shout out to you, my friend. Patty Poo is here, followed by Mice Elf. Shout out to Mice Elf. BTC follows M2. Alt file ISM. I got to look into what ISM is because I don't know. But myself is usually right about this type of stuff. So.
Yeah, he is. I ain't gonna lie.
LFG Dog is here. Paulie, shout out to Paulie. Says 900 trillion of fiat has to find somewhere to go. 1 million.
900 trillion.
A lot closer than most think. Late 2028, maybe sooner. Woo! Yeah, you're bullish, buddy. You're bullish. I'm still saying 700K. I'm still saying 700K. Bitcoin. I don't think we're gonna hit that million. I think we're gonna be a little lower than 700K. I think we're gonna hit 69,420. 690,420 dollars, but we'll see. And then Hydro Sapien. Shout out to Hydro Sapien, man. Like all
You've been here,
stuff. You've been here this entire time with us. Absolutely amazing, man. Awesome. He says, Shiz is the sniz and Yagobi, bro. Let's effing go. Shout out to you, my friend. Myself says, I don't even look at the dollar value. I just keep stacking that coin. Shout out to you, my friend. Mark is here. Shout out to Mark from Launch Punks. Mark, we actually just did a episode with Benny. It's going to be out later this week, man. Definitely excited what they're building over in Tap, and I'm hoping that you're still a part of it. I think. My bad. I think StreamYard crashed. Did it crash for you?
Yeah, it crashed for me as well.
Okay, cool. It does look like we are back, right? Everything looking good. Weird thing there. I don't know why that's
now it's gone.
Okay. Yeah. So we're just waiting for our guest here, but before we do that, let's I'm not getting anything.
What do you mean?
Like
I think it should be still connected though. Let me check here.
Yeah, it does look we're still connected here, so it should be good. I'm seeing it on my end here. So yeah, we're good to go. We're good to go. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, we just finished that. Now let's jump on to some other stuff here. So Chainlink, I don't like this, dude. I don't know how you feel about this, but Chainlink successfully. Yeah. Yo, what's up, guys? So we had an issue. We're having some issues with you guys missed. We kept doing the show. I don't know we had some issues with StreamYard. It like separated, it like forked, and it went into two different areas.
That was so
Are,
weird. I did not
I
like that
know.
at all, StreamYard. We need to have a meeting.
So yeah, so when Halfbagger messaged me, said, "Yo, backstage," I realized that like we weren't on the right one. So we're having some technical difficulties today. I wonder how long it's been like that for. But without further ado, let's bring up the guys. Let's bring up Halfbanger. Let's bring up Bunzy. What's up, guys? Welcome to OnChain
Yo,
Revolution.
yo, dogs. Hold
What's
up.
up? What's up?
What's
What's
up,
up?
man?
What's
So
up?
huge
What's
day from you
good?
guys yesterday. So you guys, you know, we talked earlier in the day. You guys said you were building something. Really didn't tell me what you were building, and then boom, later that night, absolutely, you guys destroyed the mempool. And there's a lot of miners out there to say absolutely thank you for doing that because they actually made some money last night for the first time in a while. But could you guys explain exactly what you guys built and what do you guys have going on with it?
Dude, totally. So, it was, we made a mint page that minted our token Alkamist. And the way that you minted Alkamist, the way that Alkamist works, it was a fork of the free mint contract from alkanes or from oil. And then in these contracts, you literally have access to the transaction that called the method in the contract. So I spent a bunch of time building Team Ralph, which was like our way of undercutting, the Pizza Pets feeding sites because we figured out how to feed Pizza Pets because they use the transaction ID as the feeding, right? So then sorry, I haven't slept yet. I'm so tired. But so what it did is when you call the method in the contract, the transaction ID actually parses the value that you're minting. And it was totally free. And then we had a really cool minting mechanism where you would be brewing spells, and you'd brew spells, and then it would show you the value that you would mint. And then you'd chain them, and then you'd get rebrews, so you could keep on, recasting to try to get like different spells. It was fun.
Yeah. It was so creative, the approach, kind of having this wizard theme as well. But I mean, you definitely had a lot of praise from it. Like one of our community members, KDN, called it the best mint in BTC history. I know he also commented on it earlier, but like giving it this kind of randomization, I thought was just brilliant because you can't really have whales go in there and be like max mint, max mint, max mint, max mint. You know what I mean? And I think it made it like one of the most fair approaches to doing a mint. Was that the whole idea behind it? Not really, but
the idea behind it was that it was just really cool.
Yeah.
And because the second that I understood that I can get the transaction ID in the smart contract from the calling from the protostone, I was like, oh my God, like you can like Bitcoin DeFi is finally here. And it's with alkanes. I mean alkanes, but it's really with protostones, which is runes that have been they've been extended and now they're programmable. Like anything and everything, and more than other chains too, just because of the nature of how Bitcoin works. It's incredible.
So you guys are developers, so you know about like the whole computation issue of on-chain and Bitcoin, but with alkanes, I imagine that like the computation stuff is happening off-chain. Is that not true? Is it all happening still on Bitcoin, or is there like an off-chain indexer that's like reading it and then doing the computation and then spitting it back to Bitcoin, or maybe like one of you guys can answer that?
It works the same exact way as like runes. So you need to have word, right, which indexes the balances of runes. So this stuff is all on chain, right? But to make any sense of it, you need an indexer.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, what this indexer also executes WASM modules. So what when you're deploying an alkane, you're inscribing effectively with a commit and a reveal a WASM module, which is it's a WASM module that you can probably with any programming language that can compile a WASM, but you would use Rust because of the libraries that Flex has made, and you just inscribe it, and this indexer, because every contract gets a contract address, and then the indexer, and dude, it's here. Bitcoin
Yeah.
DeFi is 100%.
I mean,
It's
Yes, sir.
100% here.
Yeah. So I mean, like I can definitely tell the excitement from Hathbanger, even though I can tell that you're tired because you said it and I can see it.
I'm
But
so fucking tired.
but Bonzi, you know, like, do you agree with that? Do you feel like Alkanes has made the solution? And if so, do the Runes bags benefit from this, or are they going to get hit in the the pot shot from this?
Yeah. First of all, what's good, boys? Yeah, I'm pretty
Up,
tired
man?
myself too. It's been, but no, I mean, dude, hats off to Flex and the Oil Boys. Like, it really is like what I think we've all been wanting. Effectively, it's an EVM, right? Like, you say off chain, like, let's not forget that ORD is effectively, indexing.
yeah.
It's off chain, but what it's
Mhm.
doing is compiling and using WASM to like execute logic, and that's what we've been wanting, and that's what we've been wanting to do, and do these fun games. And like, dude, I still remember I like woke up one morning and Haas like, dude, I think I have a mega cook.
It
And I'm
wasn't
just
one morning. It was like 6 days ago.
well, yeah, one morning 6 days ago, and it was insane. Like, and literally just after that, like, yeah, he just thought of the most brilliant idea of like reading the free mint contract. He's like, dude, what if we pass in the transaction ID? I was like,
We
dude,
have this. We
what do you-
don't pass it in. It's in there.
Yeah, it's created.
You have access to the full block. From
It's pretty
like,
dope. It's really
insane,
cool.
dude.
It's really cool stuff. And like, that's why, I don't know, just the creative part of it was super cool too. Like, expressing like what's possible with a simple idea, and just seeing the response of people having fun on Bitcoin. And that's what it's all about, right? It's like, people say they want to do all that, but then they back it with this huge extraction. And like, dude, just ripped a free mint. People like had a lot of fun. And it literally now, like, dude, like, you see the Plasm talk today, like, dude, they raised 50 million and only had 1,100 wallets contribute.
That's crazy.
Dude, we did this with like everyone bagging on ordinals and everyone just fading it super hard, and there's over 3,300 wallets. Very different metric, different things, but I guess I say all that to say, like, this is a good proof of concept. And if you can do something as simple as, not simple, but like just so like gamification that isn't overcomplicated, just wait till people start really figuring this out and building really effective smart contracts. And like, dude, it's go time. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's on. Like, who knows what the best solution is going to be, but this is such a fucking contender. It's ridiculous. Like, anyone that says otherwise is just tripping.
Yeah, man. So from my understanding, what WebAssembly is, right? It's basically an assembly line of different things, right? So it's basically, when this happens, this happens. Could you guys explain that a little bit for anyone who doesn't know?
Yeah, well, the WASM modules, they're executables, and an executable, it's like bytecode. So an executable is like a program. And like on your computer, when you go and you get if you have a Mac, I don't know what you have, but you have applications, you click them. When you click them, you're running an executable. And so like Arc comes up, it's an executable, and it runs as a daemon in your computer. If you have a Unix-based machine, but that's a different process. I mean, I'm sure there's daemons on Windows, but
That's
I
like
don't
a
know
browser, though, by the way. Arc the browser.
Arc the
Yeah.
browser, or Chrome, right? Chromium. You click that and it runs the executable. And so with Alkanes, you compile your contract down into a WASM module, you inscribe it, and then it gets assigned an ID, and then you call the WASM module the same way that you would call or do a rune mint or a rune send with a proto or with a rune stone. So Flex made this thing called a proto stone, which is an extension of runes. So you can take runes and bring them into alkanes. You can proto burn them into alkanes. So you could literally upgrade your rune bags into alkanes with the right contract. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. So, like, let's talk about scalability real quick, because you boys have, you know, worked with different scaling solutions as well. So let's say in terms of speed and stuff, we're still kind of chained to Bitcoin's 10-minute blocks, right? So to create like an application, like a launch pad, like Pump Fund, this is still gonna that wouldn't necessarily be ideal for this. It'd be more for like something that's more gamified, mints or something like that. Or what do you think?
I mean, it can do anything. Like within the smart contract, like people want everything on Bitcoin, but they don't want the block times or any of that stuff. It's like, dude, figure it out. Which one do you want? It's like, if you don't want the block times, there's other networks. Like, that's just a fact. And like, but if you want it on Bitcoin, you have to participate in the mempool. You have to participate with blocks. But in ordering, and then, you know, you can gamify it. Like what we like, you know, we did a really interesting approach on it, but you can do more. You could do so many different things that validate a transaction. But yeah, you can do pump funds. You can do all these things.
AMMs are on the way.
The oil team is very close with an AMM.
It's done. They're testing.
It's on. It's like,
if you can get a code, if you can convince Alec to give you a code, you can.
Yeah, I was messing with it, bro. It's on, dude. Like, people, like, it's amazing. It's fucking on. It's a really good time.
Is it on mainnet, or are you still messing with it?
No, it's on.
Isn't it?
Well, I was messing with it on. I was messing with it on. Yeah,
dude, the oil boys are so dope. They have their own reg test network too, so that when you're developing alkanes, you can use their command line interface to do all of the things to deploy it. You can also mint from it and send from it. You can call any of the methods, the contract methods from the command line, and then you can generate blocks because it's a reg test network that they've exposed. So you don't have to wait for block times when you're testing. You're literally testing against a network where you can trigger your own blocks, and you can trigger it to just send you Bitcoin. It's like they have this open Bitcoin environment that you can test all your alkanes on, and it's fast and like, oh, it's butter, boys. I'm telling you,
it's gonna be a fun time. I mean, and what's cool about it is like, people that are there, like, it's not a platform that raised a bunch of money, and like it's 100% Bitcoin. The native token is Bitcoin. It's really like, this is it. Like, it's very cool, because there's always incentive for like, okay, to participate in this network, you need to use X token, and you know, then they raise, et cetera, et cetera. Like, this is just smart contracts. Anyone can write one, and the fee to use it is Bitcoin. It's really the approach. Like, if anyone's fading
on Bitcoin,
it is. I mean, dude, Hath proved it. Like, Hath literally with that smart contract proved it. And it's like, it seems fun and whatever, but DeFi is just literally decentralized way of moving funds. And like, it was just such a perfect proof of concept. And like, if you can do and verify something like that, you can verify anything else. Hey, Suze. Hey.
So what's next for Alkamist? What's next
Dude.
for this?
First, hold on. First, let's kind of get into what it is. So let's jump over to it real quickly. I can show my screen here. So it's mint.lasereyes.build. I do love how you guys threw the laser eyes in there.
You got you, man. Marketing.
So
well, I mean, dude,
this is it right here.
It was a showcase like of what Laser Eyes has been working on, and like, what's cool about the Alkanes community is everyone that was building with Laser Eyes was just like leaving the Laser Eyes modal, like, and like representing like the tools, because it's all open source, but a lot of other tools use Laser Eyes, and they just kind of like, when they import it, they just kind of take out the logo and stuff. And you know, naturally, like most teams, like, that's just what you do. Like, you know, you use WAGMI or you use Rainbow Kit, you kind of reskin it. But everyone in Alkanes was just repping Laser Eyes super hard, and it was just really dope. And like, yeah, it was just a showcase of putting alkanes into laser eyes, and then through that, Hath was just fucking had this crazy cool idea through the process, and it just so we were just naturally the progression was all of this happened so fast, to be honest. Like there was no like I don't know, no plan, just really kind of like going with this crazy idea that Hath had, and it just like fucking steamrolled into such a crazy. Yesterday was nuts. Like it was just actually nuts, dude. Like my feed's like all in Chinese now, bro. I don't even know.
Oh, you know you made it. You know you made it when you got the Chinese community over, bro.
Bro, yeah, bro. It's pretty lit. And then look at all these, dude. All these characters, like the whole like
man.
the whole like lore. All of this is like, dude, Hath just cooked, dude. Dude, he just said it, dude. Just like the most cooked ideas
I
ever.
mean, like for you guys to be able to put this together, no wonder he's tired. Number one, number two, like, for you guys to be able to put this together from the aesthetics back to the smart contracts, all of it in such a short time is awesome. And the fact that everybody loves it is really cool because
that was the coolest part.
But now the buildup is what's next because now people are going to expect something.
Dude,
like
it literally happened like less than 24 hours ago.
I know, but you know how our
but what's crazy is this only took like less than a few days. So like the ideas are going nuts, and like just fucking if you want to have fun, just I don't know, stick around. There's so many room for activities now. Like
stick around and stick around and hoard your Alkamist. That's all we can tell.
All right, so hold on. So now I got to ask you a question because you said that. So Alkamist, just a meme token, or can we expect something in the future?
Bro, everything's a meme.
Okay, yes. Everything's a meme.
I'm a meme.
But can we expect potentially something in the future or
Bitcoin's
let's just say that loose lips sink ships.
All right. He's not saying no, but he's not saying yeah. I love it. But great job on this, dude. I love the Harry Potter theme. I'm somebody who watches the Harry Potter movies a lot in my house. Really awesome to see Ron red-eyed and happy for once.
That was the first. Ron was the first character, bro. I'm like, how could I like? I have this sick fucking mechanic. It works. What do I? And then it could be like, oh man, we could be brewing potions. And then I'm like with GPT, just like, give me a stoned Ron Weasley. And it drops it. And then I'm like, yo, Bunzi, scope this.
Oh shit!
Holy shit! I just have this one GPT chat that's just got all the characters. Dude.
Oh man!
It's so funny.
Dude, I was dying. Like, it's just so cool seeing such a unique idea. Like, I don't know, it really kind of showcases Hath's creativity all the way from like technical to like fucking dude, just fucking hilarious. Like typically I'm shitting like funny, like trying to do the beams and they're like whatever. That's just fucking like, dude, stoned Ron, peep this. It's just like, are you kidding me? I don't know, man. It's really cool seeing the whole thing kind of shape up, man. It's dope.
100% too. And like the best part about this too, in my opinion, is that the fact that this is technically a launch pad, right? Have you guys thought about that? Maybe pushing this out to other people who want to launch the same way that you guys launched.
Dude, the contract's out.
Yeah.
Fucking
no, it's not. It will be. The contract is minimal amount of code.
Are you guys open sourcing the contract so anyone can
everything that
do
gets
it, or you guys
is?
Because you guys could potentially make money. I know you guys don't like making money in the space, right? But you could technically use this as a launch pad, right?
Freedom fighters. We got freedom fighters down here.
Freedom fighters.
These guys are the only two people in crypto who don't like making money.
Fucking true, bro. 100% true, bro.
Every time I get a token, it just goes down.
Stop open sourcing this stuff. We want to see a project from you guys. We want to see something you guys can put your name behind.
I think you can do this. They're doing it for the space, though. Like keeping it open source. Obviously, the idea is they're working on something really big, and the idea is to make revenue. But like that time will come. I've talked to Bunzi and Hath enough that's what their mentality is. Yeah. But this is really cool. The fact that you guys are open sourcing it, honestly.
Yeah. Well, that's why we like crypto. Like the fact that it's distributed, it allows people to build on top of it, and it sucks. But I mean, if you're here for the long run, I just believe like it's just a matter of time before people really start to catch on. And
yeah.
you know, yeah, I mean, we don't want to be hypocrites, you know. Like I don't want to call out projects and like scams and then just participate in the same like fuckery. It's like if we stand for something and we want to do it, like we're gonna do it. And it hasn't worked out super crazy for us yet, but hopefully one day. But
No, bro, I think it's worked out great, man. Look
I
at the
agree.
people
I
we
agree.
met, dude. We get to hang out
that's
with these two gentlemen, dude. I mean, there are some assholes in this space. There's no fucking doubt. But there's a ton of really, really nice people.
Yeah, it
And
really.
they're
That's the,
smart. Everyone's super, super
and
sharp,
that's what
which
was
is
cool about
awesome.
the mint. It was like indirectly, it harmed people that were trying to farm it. If you opened up a bunch of like tabs, like it was using your browser CPU. So like people were like, "Oh, it's failing." It's like, dude, because they were trying to like mass mint,
Yeah.
and it would just literally kind of hinder that, and
computer.
it just allowed
Yeah,
people to like that were just chilling and just like, oh, having fun, enjoying the
They're
aesthetics, the
like
lore.
6,000.
Yeah.
17, dude.
I love
Oh my
that,
God.
dude. I love that
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah,
It
so
was
the
crazy.
little guys had a chance, and that's what made the distribution so good. And that's what's cool. It's like now we have a token with a lot of distribution. Like literally, no one owns more than 1%, and that's rare. Like that's really
Yeah.
hard to do.
It
And
is.
like, and just imagine now we have a token that we can just continue building fucking fun games on top of. Like,
Love that.
like, I mean, just that's just a fact. It's just like who knows what comes, but like other people are also like, dude, like Haspin, like people are like, dude, we want to do stuff with Alkamist because like it's, I mean, just the way that it kind of entered the ecosystem. I don't know, like people are using laser eyes, people are using AI to build tools. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, in a perfect world, I can see people just using it and just rolling it into other stuff and just I don't know, who knows, but we have some ideas cooking. And I'm just excited, kind of still on a high of last night. I couldn't really sleep because I don't know how to really explain it, but it was just crazy. I just kept refreshing fucking the chart and refreshing Twitter and just like,
I mean, especially if it's something that you guys created, you're like not only just happy the number go up, but happy that you reflect on, oh wow, damn, like this is something we all created that was awesome in the community. You have like instant community now that like is on, y'all's side.
And
for
what
success.
sucks is like community is like, this is just a fact. This is just kind of being candid. Is like, if you get a community when you make people a bag, period. And like people made a bag, dude. People that fucking like minted and just like had fun, like made a bag, and that's so cool. It's like if like I don't know, it's cool helping people that want to experiment.
It was a total net positive that made a bag and it was fucking free.
Yeah, 100%. Like
We
we could have
didn't
charged a
take
fee.
it. We
Like we
didn't take
thought about
any
it. We're like,
money.
we're like, dude, should we charge a fee? And we're like, nah, dude. Like we just want people to experience alkanes and kind of we want to prove this concept out. And then we don't want to be beholden. Like if we charged a fee, we would have been like, dude, people would be like, what's not? Like people are still saying that and they're still gonna say it, but I can with like my whole heart say fuck off. And like and like, but you know, but if we charged a fee, you know, naturally. But regardless, we're inspired and people are stoked about it. And if that's like cycle still continues, like you better believe more shit's coming.
I can't wait.
I just picture you guys. You guys are building this stuff, you know, not making a lot of money from this stuff, if any at all. But what happens with you guys with sitting on $2 million? What you guys can work on, right? What happens when you guys are hiring devs underneath you? And, I'm just saying, like, right? Like,
I agree.
Cool not making money. But what happens if you guys are sitting on $1 million? And what's the cool shit that you guys can build?
Dude, Hath
as
a
CTO
aren't
worried about money.
Hath as a CTO, like I've learned so much from Hath, and I started working under him at Pineapple, and he's like, I don't know, brought me to be a pretty decent.
I've thrown you into the deep end.
Yeah, in the deep end. But why I say that is like, hold on. Why I say that is, dude, Hath, like, you guys know his vibe. Like, managing software is super hard, and even when we're at Pineapple, anyone that had problems, they just come to him, and he was just like, let's just figure this out. And it's like,
we'll hang out.
It's crazy to see. Like, I was like, really, like, so yeah. To answer your question, Jesus, but again,
Yeah.
I don't know. My
What are you
brazen
talking
heart,
about?
I'm just thinking in my head, like with you
Yeah.
guys running the ship, making cool shit, us two marketing it, pushing it out for you
But
guys. I
that's
think
the
we
whole
could get
beauty of
something
crypto is
special.
Let's
like, dude,
go.
just
OCR,
sponsor
DevGov.
laser eyes, dude. Like,
Yeah.
like that's the beauty of crypto is you don't need to
Yeah.
bring that broken Web 2 model into
true.
like. But either way, I don't know.
Well, you have to think about the early days of the internet too. There were like teams like you guys that were like banging their heads against their desks trying to figure out. Like e-commerce was just a kind of like a vision that people were like, it's gonna work easy, but then they found out really quick that it's not easy. You have to have logistics and shit. And the pets.com failed in early 2000s and shit like that. And but then the big companies formed through that. You know, and there were just two dudes like you guys trying to figure it out, and they ended up forming whatever, like
it's
eBay,
all about
Amazon.
It's all about just more shots on goal, dude. Like if you look at, like Alex sent us a message that I kind of tripped out on. He's like, dude, you guys built Omnisat, Laser Eyes, Beat Blocks, and like just went on then this, and then there's like it's just like, oh shit. We just I don't know, we just kind of I don't know, get sucked in, and like I was like, wow, that is a kind of a lot of stuff, and some people are still just sitting on a fucking $10 million raise with vaporware that hasn't gone anywhere, and it's like, so I don't know. It is cool to take a second, but I don't know. It's just like my mind's just like, what's next, dude? You should see our chat, dude. We have so many funny ideas. We're just I don't know. I'm exhausted.
What do you mean? Let's sink ships, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Well,
excited. I'm excited.
This has been absolutely awesome, guys. I really appreciate you giving us the time as always, and we have open space for you guys. Anytime you guys are building anything, just reach out to us. I'll have you on that day. If not, like definitely in the next couple of days. But would love to see what you guys build next. And I'm bullish on you guys, man. I'm bullish on you guys. I'm bullish on the company that you guys are gonna make. I know you guys are saying you guys ain't gonna make it, but I'm bullish on the future company that Bunzi and Halfbanger are a part of, man.
Love it. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, appreciate you guys.
All right, bros. We'll check you guys soon.
Later, skaters.
See you guys.
Peace.
Yeah, man. Absolutely awesome as always, guys. Really appreciate it. You guys hung out with us with a bunch of technical difficulties. We got 24 people on YouTube still here. X got reset, which kind of sucks, but it is still awesome. Thank you to all you guys who hung out with us through this entire time. And I don't know what happened with that, dude. That was the first time that ever happened with us.
It's not gonna,
forked. It's so
I know
weird.
That was weird. I felt like we were in an alternate reality for sure. But I mean, like, it was a great show. We're not gonna let that mess our show up. We had over like 600 people watching at the throughout that time, and so it was an amazing show. We thank you guys. Dog Army is always, showing up. Billy too, $1 Billion Cat, all the runes, Gizmo, Bitcoin ecosystem, Alkanes. Now we're definitely got to dive deeper into that as well. But we appreciate each and every one of you guys for hanging out with us. Without you guys, I'm going to continually say this every day because we appreciate you guys so much. Without you guys, we couldn't do the show, and we thank you so much for that. But if you could also check out our partners because they help us do the show as well, we'd greatly appreciate it. Sats Terminal is the aggregator DEX for the Bitcoin ecosystem. You can trade for runes, Doggo to the Moon, $1 Billion Cat, Magic Internet Money, all the popular ones directly there. They aggregate, so they're going to find the most liquid tokens, the best pricing there, and you can actually swap for Alkanes now as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Alkamist gets added to that as well, right, in the future.
Right there.
There it is right there already. The team's on top of it. But yeah, visit satsterminal.com. Connect your wallet for the first time. You get 1,000 Amber points, and they just started their Amber is Forever campaign. So make sure that you're following them on X so you know what that entails, right? Earning the Amber is not going to be the same as time goes on. You're going to have less and less of an opportunity, but you get the opportunity for a good amount of time still. And if you refer a friend to use it, you get 500 Amber points if they connect their wallet as well. Head over to satsterminal.com today. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin's tech stack for you guys to be able to place bets on their markets. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet, some Bitcoin, and 6 Bitcoin blocks, and you can start placing bets in their Blitz markets. Their Blitz markets is a 10-minute countdown for you to select either Bitcoin, Solana, or BNB to go up or down. So it's kind of like using leverage or perps. And then 10 minutes after that, after you locked in the price to determine if it goes up or down to see if you won in that second 10-minute interval after that. They're going to have create your own markets to where you can earn up to 1.5% of the total volume, guys. That's exciting. I'm super excited about that. Head over to betbtc.win to dive into their docs and then join their Discord as well. And then Emblem Vault is their interoperability tooling for the Bitcoin Layer 1 ecosystem. More specifically, to start off with, ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your ordinals from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Merlin Bitcoin Layer 2 to Abstract to Base, eventually Solana. And you're going to be able to use eventually their AI agent Hustle to help you vault those ordinals. Right now, you can use Hustle to help you through the trenches of Solana, which you need because that place is a jungle. But what Hustle helps you do is research tokens, kind of give you a background of the holders, all a bunch of great AI insights for using Hustle. And right now, you can use Hustle for free, but eventually they're going to have a business model that incorporates their Hustle token into it. So make sure that you head over to agenthustle.ai. And then don't forget they have their TGE runes for September for the Emblem Founder Vault runes. It's for their overall ecosystem. But right now you can actually participate in a pre-sale over at OpenSea if you search Emblem Founder Vaults, and you can purchase this as an NFT. But once we get to the September date, they will give you instructions on how to get those Bitcoin runes into your Bitcoin wallet. Head over to emblem.vision today, dive into their docs, join their community, ask them all the questions. They have people on their team waiting to answer for you. So make sure you join their Discord. And then Artura.finance is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. As Shizzy said earlier, they're going to be launching on Botonix, Bitcoin Layer 2 very soon, the Spider Chain. Following that will be Hemi, Bitcoin Layer 2 backed by Binance Labs. So, being a part of their community, utilizing the platform and following kind of their XP system, you're going to have a chance to earn their TGE part of that, right? And also you'll get kickbacks from the chains that they're using as well. So make sure you head over to Artura.finance today. You're going to be able to trade synthetic Bitcoin fungibles on their platform like Dog Go to the Moon, Billion Dollar Cat, as well as popular ones outside of the ecosystem, XRP, Tau, Ethereum. And if you don't want to trade because you don't like that higher risk environment, you can add to their liquidity vaults to kind of help the platform and earn passively there. Make sure you visit Artura.finance today. Join their community as well. They have great experienced trader tips in their Discord. And then Fluid Tokens, the UTXO wizard devs, started on Cardano, moved over to Bitcoin, and still working on Cardano and Bitcoin at the same time. This team is completely cracked, man. They're constantly delivering on products on a weekly basis, right? At least like updates, if not new products. They're the first to offer staking vaults on Bitcoin Layer 1. If you did stake your Dog Go to the Moon, you can claim that right now. So I suggest you go do that. You will get your original staked amount plus your rewards in one transaction. If you're a founder of an ordinal collection or you etched a rune with an established community, head over to their Discord, ask them how to get started for staking a staking vault for your community. They have a team waiting for you guys there. And then on the Cardano side, they have their Aquarium platform to where you can earn Babel fees by participating into the platform there. So head over to fluidtokens.com and you can go on either Cardano or Bitcoin side to learn about the opportunities with their products. And on the Bitcoin side, one last thing, you can use their airdrop tool if you need to airdrop runes to your community. It's really simple. You can either use a CSV file or you can do it manually there. And then Tokyo Wallet is the multi-chain smart wallet that is built for the best UI UX for crypto users. Right now, if you have an Apple iPhone, head over to the Apple App Store to download the app. Or if you have an Android, you can head over to Google Play. They have it on both platforms there. Their objective is to make the most seamless platform, all in one-stop shop for you guys. Right now, they have Bitcoin and Cardano assets there. You can actually swap directly on the app for runes as they partnered with Sats Terminal to help with that. Or you can swap directly for SNEC as they have an aggregator on that side as well for the Cardano side. But there is new ecosystems they're going to be adding to the platform as well, so stay tuned. But also you can find alpha on there. You'll find OnChain Revolution, Cryptos R Us. There's an alpha section that's really, really cool, guys. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. And then make sure you're following them on X as well, as they have earning opportunities with the token. And then Merlin Chain is uniting Bitcoin strength with the power of AI with their Wizard 0.03 version that helps guide you through the Merlin ecosystem. It can help you stake, swap, do DeFi functions. And speaking of staking, you can go to merlinchain.io, click on stake, and then you could go to the proof of stake staking option there. There's two different options. There's flexible and then there's bonded. Flexible, I believe, is to the day-to-day. You can earn 15% APR, but you do have to wait 7 days to withdraw if you want to get out of that. But it's 7 days. But the bonded, you are locked in for 6 months, but you earn a 45% APR, and you actually can withdraw your rewards on a daily basis. It is for the Merl token because that is what keeps the chain secure with their proof of stake there. So make sure you're heading over to merlinchain.io today. This team is doing amazing things with their partnerships. Binance Alpha, their Wrap DAO. They're one of, I believe, 11 entities that are a part of that exclusive membership there. Head over to merlinchain.io to learn more today. And lastly, don't forget about our integrated partners in Jungle, formerly Foxy AI, building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and their first-person shooter game called Cypher Striker. And Ordinal Hive is the aggregator Ordinal marketplace of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They do something similar to SAS Terminal, but with Ordinals. So they're going to find you the cheapest Ordinals around, and they have amazing trader tools as well. Make sure you head over to their website as well. Thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. As always. If you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out OnChainRevolution.io, we have some of the best articles, guys. Best articles in the business. We could actually just put the articles out by themselves without having a show because that's how good they are. Check them all out here. We got the Believe app. Learn about this, guys. This is something that's really taken over the Pump Fund. I mean, Pump Fund's kind of getting pushed under the rug because it's got real utility again. Yes, we're getting back into utility, and the Believe app is something on Solana that's actually doing that. And this is not a sponsor for Believe app, just a sponsor for this article. So go check out that article. And if you guys are checking out that website, make sure you have your VPN on. NordVPN is my favorite. It's my go-to. Definitely check that out here. Don't go to Nord whatever. Use our link because you'll get 70% off coupon. Do not pay full price, which is $10 a month. Pay our $3 a month, guys. Use our link. It's like I think I locked it in for $66 for the year. For 2 years. So I'd lock it in, set it, forget it, right? Definitely check that out. If you want to go month to month, you can do month to month as well, but definitely use our link, guys. And check out our store tab. We have some of the best merch, not just in the Bitcoin ecosystem, but in the entire crypto. Check everything out. We're going to be adding more, normal shirts like Bitcoin and Ethereum. But if you are into this Doggo to the Moon or $1 Billion Cat, we have the stuff for you guys. Puppet shirt and so much more. Check it all out at OnChainRevolution.io. And guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear traps. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.